Ladies and gentlemen, Forrest Tuff is an award-winning speaker, author, podcaster, talk show host, and film producer. He is the founder and CEO of One Vision Productions, a multimedia and branding company whose clients range from commercial and government agencies to Fortune 100 corporations such as Coca-Cola, McDonald's, 20th Century Fox, and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Since 2015, it has been listed as one of Atlanta's best and brightest companies to work for by the National Association for Business Resources. Recognized among Georgia's most powerful leaders and the top 100 transformational leaders in the country by the John Maxwell team, he is a certified business and life coach and internationally renowned speaker. He has delivered keynotes and workshops throughout the United States and in 15 countries across 5 continents. In 2021, he became only the 89th speaker in the world to receive the prestigious accredited speaker credential from Toastmasters International. Tuff is also an active volunteer and philanthropist. He founded a paid forward program in 2015 that annually awards a grant to a nonprofit organization. He is a recipient of the MLK Drum Major for Service Award, Outstanding Georgia Citizen Award, and President's Lifetime Achievement Award. Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters and guests, Toasties with the Mosties, please put up your hands together and use those virtual emojis, those virtual reactions to welcome our accredited speaker and our keynote address speaker for this evening, distinguished Toastmaster, accredited speaker, Forrest Tuff.
Good evening, everyone. After such a wonderful introduction, I can't let you down tonight. I have to bring it. We have to reimagine what Toastmasters means in our life. You see, many of us have been a part of Toastmasters. And I can admit, after a while, it starts to seem as if Toastmasters is just a part of life. But we have to remember, who were we before we joined Toastmasters? How do we approach a crowd when it was time to speak? Did we have the confidence to show up and show out? Or did we want to share our lunch with everyone that was standing there? I remember those days of feeling queasy when it was time to get in front of others and be a leader, or to step up and speak out and share my voice. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, and distinguished leaders, today I want you to think about how Toastmasters has impacted your life. And we're going to share tools that will help us to continue to grow within Toastmasters as this world is changing. And we'll find ways to reimagine how Toastmasters can continue to impact our life. Today, I want to take you on a journey and talk about how we can illuminate our path as we move into the future. Now, as we move forward, I want to talk about a couple of things. First, let's get this set up. Give me just a second. So we're going to talk about transforming the mind. As I work on getting this display to show correctly, I want you to also think about this. How many of you, as you've gone on this journey, have decided that you want to continue this journey with Toastmasters? Now, if that's you, I want you to understand that there's a couple of things that have got to happen in order for that to take place. You have to continue to see the changes within Toastmasters as a way to grow. You have to understand that as we continue to grow within Toastmasters, there are certain things that will adapt as the time. And as we continue on this path, there are a couple of things that can help us as we continue on this journey. These 4 things that I want to discuss today are going to be the preparation you need to grow, your attitude, the training, and your heart. And when I say heart, I'm talking like an old school coach, that tenacity to never give up, to continue to grow as times are changing. So as we talk about preparation, what does that mean? What does it mean to prepare for something? It means that when you're going into war, you know what you're doing. Think about it. When our cadets get into the military, they don't just take them and ship them off. They put them in boot camp because they knew they need certain skills in order to attack the world. And we have this saying, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And that's what Toastmasters provides for each and every one of us, whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. One thing I find interesting, when I joined Toastmasters in 2017, it was the legacy program. We had books. Everything was face-to-face, in person. Right as I became comfortable with the legacy program, Pathways was kicking the door down. And there was a lot of back and forth about, is Pathways going to work? And we loved the old program. But this is one thing I have to say about Toastmasters. Visionary. They didn't know the pandemic was coming, but they knew that they had to meet the times where they were. And it benefited everyone that was a part of this organization. Guess what? We could no longer meet in person. So how were we going to have that experience? We had Pathways. See, Toastmasters led the way. They prepared for change before it even happened. And so it allowed us to continue to grow professionally, and to grow in our personal development. So how do you prepare? How do you get ready? That's right. Practice, practice, practice. One of my favorite martial artists and philosophers, many of you might have known him in the 70s, his name was Bruce Lee. He said he feared a man that practiced one kick 10,000 times more than he feared anybody that practiced 10,000 kicks. And what does that mean? It means that you hone in on who you are. You learn to become your authentic self. You focus on being the best version of you. You take the programs, you take the skills, you take everything that this program has to offer, and you create the best version of yourself. And that's what it means when you practice. It doesn't mean you become perfect. It means that you actually become better, more proficient in what you're doing. And that is the point of practicing. You practice, so you can be prepared for that opportunity. When they ask you to stand up and say a word impromptu, guess what? You've been in table topics. You're not scared, you're not queasy. You grab the mic and you see that green, yellow, and red light, and you wow that crowd. And someone will come up to you and say, hey, how did you do that? And you tell them, Toastmasters. Because we need to be advocates for this program. Because as these times are changing, we need to make sure that we're the voice to let everyone know this is how you continue to grow in your professional and personal development. Now, while I'm on this point of practice and preparation, I want to take a sidebar. I want to talk about platforms. You see, now that we're virtually, and we're going hybrid also, but in this new virtual environment, I think it's important to say that while many of us may be comfortable with Zoom or comfortable with a certain platform, it might be in your best interest to practice on various platforms, especially if you're a speaker. If this is something you want to do as a profession or just to give presentations on your jobs, it's great to understand different platforms. You see, when I started doing virtual presentations, I was only comfortable with Zoom. And then I was asked to be on a podcast. And I said, wait a minute, I don't know what StreamYard is. The green screen didn't work. My background didn't look as great as it did on Zoom. So this is a sidebar. As you practice and prepare in this virtual environment, just as you would if you're in person, learn the platform so you can give the best possible presentation of yourself and represent the organization that has given us so much. Now, the next point that is so paramount to your growth is your attitude. Attitude is everything. It reflects how you think. It gives off energy to the people that you're around. And the way you think is the way you will move in life. A positive attitude, it gives you feelings, great feelings of joy. You ever been around somebody so positive and exciting, it just rubs off on you? That energy is amazing. It's something you want to keep going with. You want to give it out to the next person. But a negative attitude is just the same. Have you ever been dumped on by your manager or your boss? You know why? They caught it from up top and they just trickle it on down. So when you have that negative attitude, think about how it affects your friends, your family, your loved ones. Your attitude reflects your destiny. And if you focus on maintaining a positive attitude or doing everything you can to try to remain positive, then things can happen for you. And I'll share with you some stories of how that's happened with me personally in my life. Now, I won't tell you to stay positive without giving you a couple of instances on how to do it. Now, one that I will say is focus on long-term goals. Now, it's not to say don't think about short-term, but here's the thing. Short-term goals sometimes don't work out as planned. Give yourself some leeway. It's okay to fail. Failing is just education. It doesn't mean you lost. So if you fail, learn from that mistake. Get back on the horse, do it again. And if you set long-term goals, then you'll find yourself getting there, failing, getting there, failing, getting there. A mission accomplished. So even in those short-term goals, be okay to say, you know what? This may happen. I may fail, but that's a part of the success. You see, you have to face that fear and fail before you can really achieve that success. And it shares that story. Now, this is one, I heard they call it the tea, I guess because you're stirring up a pot. Try to avoid spreading gossip. You know, gossip isn't something that's going to be beneficial to anyone. It's not uplifting. It's usually he say, she say, and it's just something to talk about, something that's good to sit around and talk about others. But in order to keep that positive attitude, stay away from those types of conversations. Stay involved in conversations that are uplifting or moving forward. Also, find music that fits your mood. You know, dance, have a great time. Music can uplift your spirit. How many of you can remember your first magical moment in high school or something of that nature? And it's wrapped around music. Music is one of the only mediums that has memories attached to it of good or bad. So if you have music that's nostalgic or gives you great feelings, listen to that. It'll help change that mood and keep you in a positive attitude. Try to find time to yourself. You know, whether that's praying or meditation or exercising or taking yourself off of social media. Oftentimes when you're on social media, just watching people, sometimes it can become depressing if you think that others are doing things that you would like to accomplish. Step away. Take time to focus on you. And when you do that, you'll find out it'll give you a better state of mind. And laugh. It's okay to have a good time. Don't take yourself so serious. You know, as I sat there and I listened to the introduction of things that have happened, accomplishments, you know, in actuality, it means nothing. It's just stuff. It's just things. And if you start to believe the hype of what you've accomplished, you can lose out on things that are coming your way. Be a people person. We're in the business of people. We're in the business of having fun, having engagement with people. So don't take yourself too serious. Laugh and have a great time. Those are things that can really be beneficial in your growth, in your transformation, in the metamorphosis of you becoming a better you. Now I want to show you a little exercise that I saw online. They had 6 people to come up. 3 of them had a positive thought. 3 of them were negative. They said, how many of you feel like you can count this magazine within 10 seconds, count all the pages? 3 of the people said it's not possible. The other 3 said it's actually possible. Now, when they did the test, and you can try to count for 10 seconds, see if you can see how many pages there are in 10 seconds. That time is almost up, and stop. Do you have a number? I'll tell you what, I'll give you a couple more pages. Yeah, that's right. Now, when you saw that, do you think it's possible? Well, the 3 people that said it was possible actually figured it out. The other 3 couldn't. And why do you think that was? Because of the positive thought process. You see, within that page, there was one page that said stop counting. There are 48 pictures. Oftentimes, your mind can play tricks on you. And if you're not careful, you can miss an opportunity that's right in front of your eyes. So be positive. Think positive. Make sure that you don't think when you climb that tree as a caterpillar, that when you wrap yourself up, you'll come out as a caterpillar. No, you'll become a butterfly, because that's how we think. You have to transform your mind, transform the way you see the world. When things are negative, think positive, because the negative is going to happen whether you think it or not. But you have to do everything you can to change your outlook. Now, as we talk about training and skills, this is where we talk about the shameless plug of Toastmasters. But I'm also going to talk about how it applies in my personal life and professional life. And maybe you can find symmetry as you evaluate the things that you've done in your life. Now, we know all this starts at the club experience. And if I wanted to break Toastmasters down into the most simplest form, you become a better leader, a better listener, and a better speaker. Now, my wife said, you know, I wish they had a world championship of evaluation and listening. She says, I think it'd be great if everyone listened a little more. And I asked her, was that directed at me, or was that just yeah. Anyway, she was just making a point. But that is the thing that Toastmasters does. It gives us skills that we didn't know we needed. We came to Toastmasters just to speak, just to declare to the world that we are here. But they said, guess what? We can make you a better leader. And we can show you how to listen effectively so that you can lead better, or listen effectively so you know what to say. You see, all of them are intertwined. And when you go through that club experience, it starts from the moment you walk in the door. The sergeant at arms has already prepared the room. You're greeted by someone, says, hey, welcome to Toastmasters. Immediately, you're sold. You're like, this is, wow, they care about me. You see, Toastmasters, they don't have it in here, but they're in the people business. They're the business of people. And that is why it's so important for Toastmasters continue to grow. We have to continue to reach out to people. It's not just the program is amazing, but it's the connection with people. The opportunities that we have in Toastmasters, not only to be leaders at just the club level, but all the way until the international level. This is something that you can take to your professional world, to your life. You can move up the corporate ladder. And they give you all of this for very, very, very low cost. That's affordable. I want you to think about this. If you're not a member of Toastmasters and you're looking for something to help you grow, or you're looking to continue to grow, step outside of the club level. If you're a Toastmasters who's been a Toastmaster for 10, 15 years, I challenge you, go to the next level. Go to the area level, go to the district, division, go to the regional, become a leader, stretch yourself, expand yourself, learn more about these opportunities. Because if you feel stagnant, it's not that the program is stagnant. You just have to open yourself up to be a part of what Toastmasters has to offer. We have club community-based programs. If you want to give back, Toastmasters provides that opportunity. Start a youth leadership program. Give back to the youth. Help them start a gavel club. These skills are so important for them now. We also have the Speaker Bureau. If you're a person who loves to talk and you have something you want to share, this is a great way to share your expertise. And I trust me, before I became an accredited speaker, I was a member of the Speaker Bureau. I spoke every opportunity I could. If they needed a speaker, I was there because I knew that that was practice as I continued to work on my professional ground. Everything that you do to prepare for your destiny, for your transformation, for your metamorphosis, you have to actively seek it. And speech contests. We'll have those after I finish. But what's so amazing is that these speech contests challenge you in different ways. Effectively talking to a crowd for 7 minutes and making an impact that it resonates around the world. That's amazing to me. The world champion of public speaking is such an amazing feat to make an impact on individuals with 7 minutes. There's so much you can do within Toastmasters. There's so many things that can help you to grow, to help you to be better in your business. And I'll show you how it's been beneficial to me as a business owner. I started a media production company 18 years ago. And in this business, I've done very well, but I've done even better since I became a Toastmaster. The leadership skills that I've learned have enabled me to become a better leader because the generations and the technology are changing. Employees are getting younger. They think differently. They come from a different era. So I needed professional development to know how to deal with them, how to be empathetic, how to understand their mindset. So these are things that I learned within Toastmasters, and also how to communicate with them. You see, all three of those skills that I talked about, leader, listener, speaker, they all work in all these professions. As a film producer, I have to work with crews, work with staff, work with my team. I had a situation where I was introduced to a producer for 20th Century Fox. And right on the spot, he asked me, why should we hire you? Table topics. And I was hired by 20th Century Fox as an independent film producer, not a third party. I was hired on the spot by the producer. You see, I understood the assignment. I was prepared. I was ready for my opportunity. And if you take that opportunity and you see Toastmasters as what it is capable of providing for your life, you'll do the same. Now, as a coach, I have to listen to people and help them in their finances and also to open their businesses. There's no one systematic thing that works for anyone. I've been a mentor with SCORE. It's through the Small Business Administration for 7 years. And in that time, I've had the opportunity to work with hundreds of small business owners that have different needs. I had one business owner to tell me, listen, I want to take over the world. That's a tall order. So you have to listen to them and you have to learn how to explain to them, yes, you can take over the world. Let's take over your city block first. And it's a good way to do this. And Toastmasters has given me these skills. And I tell you, it has truly helped me in my professional business. So whatever you're doing, try to find a way to understand how Toastmasters can help you to grow in your business. Now, as we come to the final part, that heart, my coach used to use this word. I still don't know what it means. He says, tough, you got to have intestinal gumption. Intestinal gumption? What is that? In other words, he was saying, you got to dig deep. You got to never give up. You have to be a part of winning. You have to be a part of achieving what you want. You have to have love and passion for what you want to achieve. How many of you heard this saying? When you fall, get back up, because we will fall. If you look at a baby falls when they're trying to walk, but they get right back up because that's a part of the process. So as you continue to grow, remember, you will fall, but just get back up. It's okay. And say what you want to believe about yourself. If you want to be a great speaker, you're a great speaker. Say it. Don't just think it, say it out loud. Declare it. I have value. I believe in myself. You see, if you don't believe it, no one else will. You have to believe that whatever you want to do in life, you can. And you have to say it every day until it makes absolute sense. In 2020, I declared that I was going to be an accredited speaker. It went virtual. The world shut down. And I missed going to Paris because that's where the international convention was. So I had to do it from my house. So what you see right here is me making a stage, acting as if I'm in Paris. I made my poster. I was prepared for my opportunity. And I failed. That's okay. That's a part of the process. It's a learning experience. When they told me, listen, you're not an accredited speaker, and I looked at my evaluations and I saw why, I could have said, oh, you guys don't know what you're talking about. This lady didn't know what I was saying. You can go that route, but it doesn't help anything. It's self-defeating. You have to focus on growth. Toastmasters is an organization that wants you to succeed. So when you look at the evaluations they give you, learn from it. And so I had to focus on people's opinions, that fear of failure, the self-doubt. But in the end, I recognized that it was up to me. I had to look at that person in the mirror, and just like the evil queen in Snow White, I said, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the best speaker of them all? You have to believe it. Even when you don't, you have to say it, say it, say it, say it. And when you do that, you'll knock out your fear and your mind will transform. You will metamorphosize and you will become something you never imagined you could accomplish. Ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you the path that you're on is where you need to be. You are in the perfect place with the perfect organization. The only thing you need to do is ask yourself, am I taking full advantage of Toastmasters? Am I prepared to give of myself and push myself to prepare, change my attitude, accept the training, and have heart to never give up? If you do that, I promise you, not only will you transform your mind, but you'll be able to reimagine who you never thought you could be. I want to leave you with this final statement. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Mr. Toastmaster.